Hello friends, in this video I will be talking about stakeholder management. Now let's understand the definition first. Stakeholder management refers to the management of company relations with the stakeholders. The crux of stakeholder management is to maintain effective communication and understand the interest of the stakeholders. सिंपल है, एक रिलेशन है बिटवीन कंपनी एंड इट्स स्टेक होल्डर्स. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड ये स्टेक होल्डर्स का क्या क्या नीड्स है, क्या क्या इंटरेस्ट्स है. यू नीड टू कीप प्रॉपर कम्युनिकेशन. कंपनी क्या करेगी, कम्युनिकेशन रखेगी विथ ऑल इट्स स्टेक होल्डर्स. This is nothing but stakeholder management. So you just have to maintain the relation very well with all your stakeholders. Describe mechanisms to maintain stakeholder relationships and mitigate associated risk. So, how do you actually manage the stakeholder relations? First mechanism is the legal infrastructure. The laws relevant to and the legal recourse of the stakeholders when their rights are violated. Understand what is this? There are certain laws, and of course, there are legal recourses, or I can say legal ways, so that the stakeholders can actually complain and get their grievances solved. If their rights are being violated, तो ऐसे लीगल recourse आप रखो so that the whistleblowing thing happens very well. Now what happens here is, if let's say I am an employee and I am being harassed, मेरे साथ कुछ तो भी illegal activity करवा रहे हैं लोग, and if I want to blow the whistle, blowing the whistle meaning I want to report this activity to someone, there have to be some ways actually. Like in India there is something known as vigil mechanism. So usually companies को ये whistle blowing activity जो होता है, they need to keep it mandatory. There is a separate committee or a director who will actually listen to your grievances, to your complaints, and then take an action appropriately. So there can be legal infrastructure. You can actually maintain your stakeholder relations very well. Second, organizational infrastructure. Companies' corporate governance procedures, including its internal systems and practices that address how it manages its stakeholder relationships. These are nothing but your procedures, policies, and your internal systems which will actually help maintaining relation with your stakeholders. I can give you one example. Now, organizational structure में ऐसा होता है, if you are an employee and if let's say your senior is a manager and manager के ऊपर है board of director, there has to be good communication line between all these three. So if a manager wants to convey anything to the employee, it has to be very smooth. Similarly, a BOD, if it wants to convey it to the employees through the managers, it has to be very smooth. Your organizational controls and policies and procedures have to be perfect. If your organization structure is flawless, अगर एकदम proper relation हो रहा है between your BOD, managers, employees, etc., then your stakeholder relations will automatically improve. Next is contractual infrastructure. The contracts between company and its stakeholders that spell out the rights and responsibilities of the company and the stakeholders. Contract is nothing but an agreement जिसमें दोनों पार्टी के आप क्या लिखोगे, rights and responsibilities. What are the rights of the company, what are the rights of the shareholders, have it written. एक written policy या written contract रख दो. That will be a good mechanism to maintain a stakeholder relation. And the last one is governmental infrastructure. So it comprises the regulations to which the companies are subject to. So basically, these are laws or regulations or rules which are actually made to manage stakeholder relations. Like again in India, Companies Act जो है वो बोलती है there should be a stakeholder relationship committee. Normally in some big companies, you need to have a stakeholder relationship committee which will actually mitigate the problems of the stakeholders. Like for example, अगर कोई shareholder है, उसको अगर कोई complain है company से, then it will go to this stakeholder relationship committee and get its grievance solved. Similarly, if there are customers, suppliers, employees, government, जिस किसी को भी प्रॉब्लम है, तो ये रेगुलेशन के द्वारा यू कैन एक्चुअली क्रिएट अ कमिटी इन दैट कंपनी and get your problems solved. So this is another way to manage stakeholder relations. Now, next way is annual general meetings. You can hold annual general meetings to actually build relations with your shareholders. Let's read something about annual general meetings. Companies hold an AGM, annual general meeting, after the end of financial year. Example, in India, financial year ends on 31st March 2020. So the company may hold AGM in the month of August or September 2020. So basically, if my year is ending on 31st March, तो उसके बाद थोड़े months में I will hold an AGM. Now, the whole year is finished. April से लेके March खत्म हो चुका है. After that, in the AGM, August or September, whatever month I am holding the AGM in, वो month में I will discuss the whole year's performance. So I can say it is like a parent-teacher meeting after the exam results are out. पूरा का पूरा साल खत्म हो गया, उसके बाद पेरेंट्स और टीचर्स मिलते हैं. It is nothing but like that. What happens at the AGM? The management provides shareholders with the audited financial statements. It showcases the company's performance, speaks about any policy or organization structure changes. It takes votes on certain resolutions, and lastly, answers shareholder questions. क्या क्या किया? Let's break it down one by one. What happens at the AGM? First, management will provide the shareholder with audited financial statement. If you are a shareholder, you are attending this meeting, ये मीटिंग में आपको ऑडिटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स मिलेंगे फॉर द होल ईयर. ऑडिटर्स क्या होता है? ऑडिटर्स आर इंडिपेंडेंट थर्ड पार्टीज हु कम एंड चेक योर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स एंड रिपोर्ट टू द शेयर होल्डर्स वेदर देयर इज अ फ्रॉड और नॉट. Then they showcase the company's performance. Company ने full year में कैसे perform किया? They will showcase it. They will show some PowerPoint presentation or give you some reports. They will speak about policy or organization structure changes. Have they actually fired some director or hired some director, etc., etc. उसके बारे में थोड़ा बहुत बोलेंगे. They will take vote on resolutions. If the company is to decide on some matters, let's say the company wants to appoint a new auditor. अगर new auditor appoint करना है, then the shareholders will actually have to vote. If the votes are in majority, which is more than 50%, then only you can actually go for that auditor. So these votes will be taken at the AGM. And lastly, shareholder questions will be answered. Shareholders have a chance to actually ask the question straightly to the management, and the management will answer it in the AGM. Who can attend the AGM? Next question hai. Any shareholder can attend the AGM and vote. If the shareholder cannot attend, then it can choose a proxy to attend and vote at the AGM on its behalf. If I am a shareholder, if I have just one share of the company, I can go and vote. I can attend the meeting, I can vote at the meeting. If I cannot go, if I want someone to go and vote on my behalf, I will send a proxy. What is a proxy? Proxy can be anyone. Proxy can be my wife, it can be my child, it can be my father, it can be my portfolio manager, it can be my friend, anybody. कोई भी proxy जाएगा वहां पे attend करके vote कर देगा. Simple. Now let's study टाइप्स ऑफ रेजोल्यूशंस एट द एजीएम. एजीएम में जो वोट होता है, जो रेजोल्यूशन पास होते हैं, फॉर दैट देयर आर टू टाइप्स, ओआर एंड एसआर, ऑर्डिनरी रेजोल्यूशन एंड स्पेशल रेजोल्यूशन. ऑर्डिनरी रेजोल्यूशन क्या होता है? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड. ऑर्डिनरी रेजोल्यूशंस रिक्वायर अ सिंपल मेजॉरिटी of the votes cast. Example, for appointment of auditor or director, majority मतलब more than 50%. If there are 100 shares outstanding in the company, 51 shares or more than that, if they vote yes for something, तो वो pass हो जाएगा resolution. Like in this case example है appointment of auditor, director और removal of auditor or director. अगर ऐसा छोटा मोटा काम है तो majority से काम चल जाएगा. But अगर कुछ serious काम है, like the company is getting purchased by a competitor or the company wants to purchase another competitor, अगर ये सब होगा, then ordinary resolution से नहीं चलेगा. This is a special case. So the next one is special resolution. It requires special or super majority, that is typically two-thirds or three-fourths of the votes cast. टू-थर्ड और थ्री-फोर्थ मतलब ये टू-थर्ड का मतलब है 66.67%, more than three-fourth is 75%. So ordinary में सिर्फ 50 था, but special में 66.67 or even 75 depending on the law. Example for special events like M&A, mergers and acquisitions, change of incorporation documents, bylaws, business objects, etc. इंडिया में इनकॉर्पोरेशन डॉक्यूमेंट्स में आता है एमओए, एओए, मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन, आर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसोसिएशन. उसमें सब कुछ डिटेल्स लिखा होता है कंपनी के बारे में. कंपनी का ऑफिस कहाँ पर है, कंपनी क्या बिजनेस करती है, हु आर द प्रमोटर्स, हु आर द शेयर होल्डर्स, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. If you want to modify these documents, if you want to modify the business object, meaning if yesterday I was a petroleum dealer and today if I want to become a textile dealer, ये बिजनेस पूरा चेंज हो गया कंपनी का. इफ यू वांट टू चेंज दैट, दैट इज अ स्पेशल मैटर, यू नीड स्पेशल रेजोल्यूशन फॉर दैट. एंड ऑर्डिनरी में सब नॉर्मल डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज वाले जो होते हैं वही सिर्फ कवर होंगे. स्पेशल रेजोल्यूशंस कैन बी आल्सो पास्ड by calling EGMs, extraordinary general meetings, anytime. See, you need not wait for the AGM to happen. AGM would happen once a year. But अगर कोई special matter है, let's say in our example we had consider ये साल मार्च में खत्म हुआ and then September में you are holding an AGM. Let's say in the month of December you want to buy a company, merger करना है. अगर दिसंबर में merger करना है तो you cannot wait till next September ना. तो दिसंबर में hold a meeting which is like AGM but it is not annual general meeting. Annual general meeting already हो चुका है पहले, तो we will term it as extraordinary general meeting, EGM. EGM में क्या होगा, तो you can actually call all your shareholders and pitch this matter, merger acquisition वाला, and get votes. But now votes के लिए you need 66.67 और 75%. और ये जो भी votes है, these will be per share. So if I have one share, that will be counted as one vote. So ordinary is normal majority, special would be super or special majority. Now the next topic is types of voting. तो दो टाइप का वोटिंग होता है विच यू नीड टू नो. एक होता है स्टैट्यूटरी एंड मेजॉरिटी वोटिंग एंड सेकेंड होता है क्यूमुलेटिव वोटिंग. Let's check statutory or majority voting. Any resolution can be passed if majority of the votes go in its favor. What do you mean by majority? Majority is more than 50%. If there are 100 shares outstanding, there are 100 votes, तो 51 votes जो भी resolution के favor में गया, that resolution will be deemed to be passed. One disadvantage of this type of voting is that minority shareholders will never be heard since majority is held by the controlling shareholders only. This is a very valid point. If there are 100 shares outstanding, जो कंट्रोलर्स होते हैं, कंट्रोलर का मतलब या तो वो प्रमोटर होगा या तो वो फाउंडर होगा कंपनी का, हु यूजुअली होल्ड मोर देन 50%. इफ दीज प्रमोटर्स आर होल्डिंग मोर देन 50%, डोंट यू थिंक एवरी रेजोल्यूशन विल बी पास्ड बाय देम ओनली? माइनॉरिटी शेयर होल्डर्स के पास सिर्फ 10-20% होगा, दे कैनॉट रियली पास एनी रेजोल्यूशन. सो दिस इज वन मेजर डिसएडवांटेज ऑफ दिस मेथड, स्टैट्यूटरी और मेजॉरिटी वोटिंग. बट टू ओवरकम दैट देयर इज सेकेंड मेथड, क्यूमुलेटिव वोटिंग. This type of voting is usually used when there are elections of directors to the board of directors. Shareholders can cast all their votes, and by votes I mean votes is equal to shares into number of board position elections and can be given to a single candidate or divided among the board candidates. What does this mean? Let's say टोटल जो पूरे कंपनी में माइनॉरिटी शेयर होल्डर्स है, दे आर होल्डिंग 10 शेयर्स, मीनिंग दे हैव 10 वोट्स. नाउ लेट्स से 100 टोटल नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स है, उसमें से 10 जो है वो माइनॉरिटी के पास है. इफ 10 शेयर्स मीनिंग 10 वोट्स आर विद द माइनॉरिटी, इट मीन्स दैट दे वोंट बी एबल टू इलेक्ट एनी डायरेक्टर. But in cumulative voting, we will cumulate all the votes multiplied by number of directors. Like in this case, 10 shares hai, multiply it by number of directors to be elected. Let's say there are 10 directors to be elected. 10 into 10 100 votes हो गया अब मेरे पास. Now I can use 100 votes to actually elect one full director only by the choice of minority shareholders. This is the beauty of this method. I have covered a brilliant example in the next slide. But before that, there's one point here. Cumulative voting can result in greater minority shareholder representation on the board compared to majority voting. So cumulative will be preferred only for the minority shareholders. But of course, controlling shareholders honge, they would prefer statutory or majority voting. Let's check the example. Now, number of shares outstanding 100 hai. Out of those 100 shares of the company, 90 shares are held by the majority and 10 shares are held by the minority. If 10 directors are to be elected, then first method, statutory or majority voting method say majority shareholders will elect all the 10 directors because minority के पास सिर्फ 10% है. So whichever director will be chosen by the majority shareholders will actually become the director, will be elected to the BOD. But cumulative voting में ऐसा नहीं होगा. Cumulative voting में first you find out total number of votes, which is equal to shares multiplied by number of elections. So in this case, 10 shares of minority shareholders multiplied by 10 directors will give me 100 votes. Now I have 100 votes and I can use these cumulated votes to elect one full director. So now minority shareholders can elect one director by giving 100 votes. So now you have accumulated all the votes and now you can have your own director representing you on the board of directors. So this is what is cumulative voting method, and of course it is beneficial for the minority shareholders. Thank you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned to eKeeda.